To talk about the projects that we accomplished this summer, I like to think of my work as facilitating the work that the Rural Prosperity Nebraska educators have. So most of my projects were about reviewing and updating promotional materials that they produce over time. I also identified what are the best practices for question design, what is the best way to analyze the data that they obtain with those surveys all across the state. And I also identified what are the best softwares online that we can use to make the process of analyzing the data more effective. And also we identify some of the best graphs and best ways to convey the information so it's accessible for everyone. Survey blows my mind because in my own work, I'm all about data. I am a scientist. So when I was working with this data that came back from Pierce, I was amazed on how this survey is empowering, because some of the questions ask, oh, so what kind of amenities or what kind of businesses do you think that would improve your life in Pierce or something like that? And for instance, I learned that in Pierce there is no grocery store. So I imagine the power that this information can, the power that this information can, how this can help the community. So when we talk about these results of the surveys back to the community, they know that they don't have a grocery store and that they need to get one, but there are also hair salons that people might understand. So I was imagining that if someone in the community are thinking, oh, maybe I should start a business, maybe this is the little spark that is missing for them to go ahead and get started with their
about the importance of this work, the work that Alini accomplished over the summer as part of the Rural Fellows program. So as Alini mentioned, she worked alongside myself and other RPN educators to help take a process that we have in place, our entrepreneurial community activation process that we already had in place, and helped us refine that process and make it more accessible, more inclusive, as she spoke to, making sure that the language was accessible for those where English may not be their first language, or even some of the jargon that we sometimes use in our materials, making sure that we were cognizant of that and making it, improving that process. So she helped us see that through a new lens, a new perspective, which is very powerful and will be important as community activation process is a long-standing program, and we will continue to use that as we go forward. And the improvements that Alini made to the process and to the reporting will be implemented as we work with communities this year and in years to come.
So talking about how I will use this information in the future, I had some challenges and I worked from home, so I definitely learned resilience and discipline. I learned how to organize big projects, how to keep focused. I definitely learned some leadership skills by observing Jordan and her team. I learned how to work effectively in teams by during academy and pre-academy. So I'll definitely use all of those skills starting day one when I come back to the lab, and also in my future career.